What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorky and 40 channel. I am Chad, and today let's talk about let's be serious here. I want to talk about what I think is kind of like one of the most overhyped products that I've ever bought and that I feel that I got burned on, and that is the Tinyhawk Freestyle. Now, I've owned a lot of the Emax pre-built quads, the Baby Hawk R, the Tinyhawk S, which is fantastic, and I've heard and seen all the videos on the Tinyhawk Freestyle. And just let me say, I know that like a lot of people, this is probably fine for you guys. You just want to fly out in front of your yard and do all that kind of stuff. But for veteran flyers like myself, there's just some things that are unacceptable when it comes to selling a product. And you know, everybody at the typical YouTube shills and stuff like that made a lot of comments, and it was the hype because they got it all sent out to them, and I kind of knew what I was getting into. I knew the camera wasn't going to be so good. I heard that the VTX and that the receiver was not that good, but it uses the same stuff that the Tinyhawk S does, the same SPI board, same VTX and everything like that. And actually, I've flown this outside a few times, and I really wasn't that disappointed with it. It wasn't bad. It was totally doable. Rapid fire would lock on. I could fly just around my house here. You know, you don't want to fly these things too far because they're so small. You know, you'll lose it if you go down somewhere. I mean, I've chased it down in the yard here a couple times just on my test flights. But the bottom line is that the performance of all that stuff is literally half as good as what is in the Tinyhawk S. Now, when it comes to how it flies great out of the box, that's for sure. But, you know, mine has obviously been changed a lot because it just doesn't work. So we'll take a look at it here. And again, I'm all about cheap, getting people into the hobby type of stuff, and I think this is a great product. But this Tinyhawk Emax Facebook group, there's a lot of people on here that are just like, I mean, they are like in love with this thing, and half the crowd is in the non-modification crowd, and the other half is in just throw everything at it that you can to kind of make it not what it is. So, you know, what I wanted was like a little toothpick type of deal. And there's so many knockoff China brands and stuff like that that I didn't want to get involved in something that I couldn't get parts for or couldn't get support. So probably should have went that route, because when it's all said and done now, this thing really won't even be an Emax quad anymore at all. So the original reason why I was so like hyped on it was because I could use all of the same batteries and everything like that I have for my Tinyhawk S here, which is a big con in itself because plugging both of the batteries into this is really annoying. It's not like difficult, but it's more annoying than I thought it was going to be. They slip and slide all over the place here with the cheap Velcro strap, so you know, I threw a little bit of sticky stuff on there to kind of help out with that. But you know, it doesn't fit any size cameras. You would have to print out like a TPU mount. I'm not doing that. I picked up a RUNCAM Racer Nano, which was a horrible idea because I don't even know where it's at. Oh yeah, here it is. You know, the wires have the smallest soldering pads ever, and they fall off. The Nano 2 Racer actually has a plug now, so I picked up one of those, so that's coming. And I really just had this VHB'd and hot glued on the front for my first couple test flights with this after I did all the modifications, and it was fine, so that's okay. That'll save a little bit of weight. Everybody binds these things with S-Bus, and they show you just plugging in the S-Bus port. That does not work. I don't understand where they must have changed the board revisions or something. I tried inverting it, non-inverting it, everything. Crossfire, and TARANIS, nothing worked at all on that S-Bus port. So actually I ended up putting a Crossfire Nano in here, total overkill, and it's underneath the stack there, and I have the Immortal T strapped on there as well. And then when it comes to the VTX, it has a TBS Nano Pro 32 on there. So when it's all said and done, it's a fantastic quad now, but that's basically cost me double the price of what the actual quad costs. And of course, another camera. When it's all said and done, it adds about 7.5 8 grams of weight to the quad. So all up, depending upon what kind of batteries you're using, you know, you're kind of in that like 81 to like 83 gram range, which is okay. I wanted to keep it down in the mid 70s, which is kind of that original kebab toothpick type of range, which supposedly flies is the best. I really don't know. I've never flown anything like that light, so I guess we'll see. I can say that this definitely cruised and flew really good. It, you know, you gotta kind of shrink your freestyle type of environment because of its size and its 2S. So instead of going up to, I don't know, 100 feet and doing split S's and stuff, you go to like 40 or 50 feet and do split S's. So you basically shrink your flight environment, but then you have just like this large environment that you can explore in. And that's the big downer, because this thing flies for like 5 minutes and it's just fun and it's not stressful at all. It's like if they just would have put like a few more dollars into it and put a couple better products into this thing and sold it for, you know, $20 or $30 more, then it would have been just a fantastic deal for everybody. I look at all of the sites, review sites, and there's so many people that still give this thing 4.5 and 5-star reviews. And a lot of them are new flyers. I just don't understand. Guys, it gets so much better when you have better components on a build. So I am gonna get this up and running and see how things go, and probably pick up a GEP RC Phantom. That seems to be a really equivalent quad that has a lot of good stuff built into it right out of the box for about the same price. And then I'll compare the two and see which two I end up liking the most. And this should be pretty good and ready to go. If I don't like it, I'll sell it. If I like this one better than that one, I'll sell that. So, and then of course I'll need to put maybe an XT30 on here. But yeah, big disappointment. We'll see how the new tune and all that stuff goes when I'm done. I just flashed it with the JESC RPM filter. The ESCs are all upgraded the ESCs and everything on this one too. So this Tinyhawk S is just flying like, wow. It just takes any tune or anything that you throw at it. It is a great product. This is a definite buy. This one here is definite hype. So stay away from that stuff for sure. And yeah, so I hope that helps a few of you guys out there that might be trying to make a decision. Come back to the channel and we'll see how the other stuff goes and how this flies when I get the replacement camera here. So we'll see you later.